Hi, I'm Kerry at Vegan Anxious. As my title suggests, I'm vegan and anxious, but I do actually suffer from a few mental health issues actually. So I wanted to help others who, like me, struggle mentally with the transition of being vegan for the animals. I'm newly vegan and I'm documenting my journey on things I struggled with or searched for once I became vegan. There is a lot of videos out there detailing the animal abuse industry, and there's a lot of information that you can gather from that, but there isn't a lot of information on the mental health struggle of when you go vegan and the reaction from others. I'm detailing and recording my journey and how I feel, how it's making me personally feel, and my mental state once I have gone vegan. So personally, my mental health has improved. I do not regret going vegan at all, but I do think it's okay that we talk about the fact that the reactions that those around you does have an impact on your mental health still, and the battles you have to go through once you've made this great life-changing choice, but that others don't realise is a great life-changing choice. So today I wanted to talk about why I feel it's important we hold friends and family accountable. This was probably my most mentally draining part of going vegan, is dealing with those around you that you love and that you spend time with. I mean, I'm quite a loner, so I don't have that many friends, but the ones I do have are good friends. Was I supposed to tell them about what I'd learned? Well, how can something that's going to be probably the biggest thing in my life now be something that I keep a secret from those close to me, or feel uncomfortable to talk about with those that are closest to me? But then the reality is I'm telling my friends and my family that they are wrong and the way they live their life is wrong, and please still like me for telling me that your whole life is incorrect and this is how you should be living it. So personally, I understand there's going to be backlash from that. I understand I'm going to offend people. I think what surprises me most is how angry people get towards me when I'm struggling with this mentally, and the fact that I want to tell them so that they don't continue to live their life as they are, but they're angry with me for doing that. So I have to keep going back to why I feel it necessary to tell them why they should be vegan, or to respond with something when they raise an issue and make maybe some sort of conflict there. So personally, I am very truthful anyway. I'm a person that does try and say what I feel, and I can't help it sometimes say how I feel, even if that can sometimes cause offence. For me, I've always watched things like Emmerdale, and when I used to watch soaps and things, and love the fact that, even though that goes against everything that feels right now, which it's a good job I don't watch it anymore, but I loved the fact that on there people would just say what they think, have arguments and move on. I've always wished that was how life really was, where we could just say what we feel, discuss it, realise we have different opinions. Hopefully if one is more compelling than the other, then the other one person will go away and think about it afterwards. So I live to my morals and believe that if that's the way I want to be, and that's how I want to raise my child, and that's how I want to live my life, then I have to do that with those around me, and they've always accepted that. Don't get me wrong, I feel stressed and anxious and down afterwards when I've caused an argument, and I know they're angry, and I know they're only angry with me because they know what I'm saying is right. But personally, the stress that I will probably endure, and the anxiety and the overthinking for a day, will be replaced by, I've said it, it's out there, I've lived by my beliefs, I've stood up for those that need them. So then at the days that follow, I'm glad I've done it, and I feel a weight is lifted. And not that I'm just doing something so I feel better and leaving a mass of destruction behind me, but I've left seeds planted behind me. So it's almost like walking along and leaving a garden afterwards. I'm hoping that, yes, I know I might be a bit destructive as I go, but what I leave behind is worth it. So that's what makes me realise that saying it to them, and every time they try to justify it, yeah, but Kerry, do you need to say these things? Do you need to say it to those that mean a lot to you? Well, yeah, because they're the ones I care about. They're the ones that if they lived this life, they would probably live longer. They probably wouldn't get all the diseases that they keep worrying about. Especially there's a lot of that in my family, and they all seem to be hypochondriacs, so I quite like them to have a go at this way of living and seeing if that makes a difference. There's a lot of mental health problems in my family. I've managed to lower my tablets massively since going vegan with minimal side effects or any of those problems like my mental health issues raising their ugly heads. That's always going to be there. It's always a condition I'm going to have to deal with, but mentally I'm stronger now to be able to deal with it. I personally think that you will harbour guilt if you have mental health issues and you overthink and you realise you haven't fought for those that need it and stood up for those that need your voice to speak for them. You will harbour that guilt. You will feel you're not being true to yourself. You'll realise that you're watching the Holocaust, seeing it happen, living in a world where we can now speak up about it and still saying it's okay because you're my friend or because you're my mum or my dad or my sister. Does that make it okay? So I won't look back and say I said nothing. The vegan movement has changed so much in the last 3 to 5 years. It's much more well known. Restaurants offering the options to have vegan meals. Greggs doing their vegan sausage roll. It's made people realise, like maybe look into what is being vegan. What does that entail? It's becoming a lot more spoke about, and I think in 10, 15 years time, I won't have to look back and feel guilty. My family won't be able to say, oh, why didn't you not tell us this then? You were a vegan, or you're a vegan, you didn't mention this happens or that happens, or that this is more likely to cause me health problems, or why didn't you tell us? Yeah, they may not to hear it now, but I bet you there'll be a time when they're like, I'm so glad you told me that. Or even if they haven't, they will never be able to turn around and say to me, you should have told me. And that's what I feel. I feel like I wish people who knew this had told me. I mean, I don't know any vegans, but I knew vegetarians, and I'm surprised they didn't want to learn more. But then I know that when I was vegetarian, how can you learn more when you think you've done all there is to do? So I'm just so thankful that I met that person at a Cube event and it has changed my life. As much as it is stressful knowing that everybody gets frustrated with me at times and are annoyed at me, they can never say that I don't speak the truth or I don't stand up for what I believe in and I don't live in the way I expect others to live. So that stress always prevails in the days after maybe a heated discussion or argument with a family or friend. I'm upset to begin with, but afterwards I'm really glad I've said it and I don't feel like I'm having a fake conversation in my head over and over of what I should have said because I said it. And that has been much better for me, speaking out loud all those things that I have in my head, than it ever would have been to just nod and go, it's okay, yeah, oh, you buy local, okay, that's good, well, that's better, oh, it's free range as well, well done. I don't have to worry about that, and I don't have to be like, I wish I said it. And the only times I do feel stressed for longer is when I haven't said it. When I haven't said it to that somebody who invited us to a barbecue and mentioned about having burgers and things, and I've just nodded thinking, oh, at the time I'll just bring my own. That has made me feel more annoyed at myself for longer afterwards, and I think about that more than I have ever thought about the heated discussion that I've had, moved on from, and has now planted the seed and I haven't had to think about it in my head. So I hope that helps you. I really love it if anyone lets me know how you're getting on. If you subscribe to this channel, share it with other people. I just really want to reach out to those who are overthinkers and worriers and like me, and hope this helps you. So yeah, please do send me some comments, follow me on Instagram @VeganXious, and like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.